Hi, guys, and welcome to a special edition of In the Studio with Daniel. This week's theme is, as you see, I need your help. So, what's basically happening is things have been very crazy. Up here in the northeast of the country, we have been getting slammed with snow. I have been working round the clock for what seems to be ever. And we're finally getting a break in the weather. Everything, the rain came today, helped wash most of the snow away. There's still some large patches that where it was built up on the grass and stuff, but we're finally getting a break. A couple of exciting things I want to talk about with you today, but I don't want to get too far into all the fun stuff and then talk to you guys about money. So I want to get that out of the way first. One of the main reasons for this video is we here at Advantage Angel Cards need a little help. Now, I'm not a charity case, and I never like to ask for things for free. I do this service, and I do workshops and lectures, and very often I get no money at all. It's either a barter system or it's a very discounted price. But sometimes we just need a little push. So my main unit of productivity, this laptop sits here in my office, and I do some stuff on it. But my main mode of productivity was an old iPad 3 my wife actually bought me new for our 5-year anniversary several years ago. Well, not several, but a few years ago. And she literally was blessed with the money. She manifested it out of thin air. She was out with her mother, and she goes, it's our 5th wedding anniversary. Dan has always really wanted an iPad. I know he'll use it for work and things. Let me find a way to come across it. Her and her mother were at a casino. Randomly, she put some money down on a 3-card poker table, and something very, very good came up. And literally in 2 hands, she had every dime she needed. And the next day, we went and she got me the iPad. So it saddens me a little to say that my iPad has breathed its last breath, I guess, but I was looking for more of a technological version of that. But it's tweeted its last tweet, so to speak, even though I don't do Twitter. To get a refurbished one of the one I had is still several $100s. And this is 3 models ago, several years old now. But it's what I do all my productivity on, including the weekly Oracle card readings that so many of you give me feedback that you like the way I do it with this panning up of the cards so you can really see the detail of the cards and all, as opposed to me holding them up here for you. So what we're doing, obviously, we're always open for donations. If somebody wants to send me $1 or $2 because they like the readings and they just out of the kindness of their heart want to send a small donation, I certainly will accept that. But what I'm trying to do is have a fundraiser to get a new iPad quicker than what our budget would allow, because we just dump most of our money into the tax payment and preparing for the upcoming fair season, the craft fair season and the spiritual fair season, by buying a lot of stock. My wife for her pretty pendants business, and me for my earthworks out in the shed, penworks. So what we're looking to do is I'm going to list all of my products, $20 a piece. Now, the main focus of this stuff is my 44 bead prayer bead set, what I call the angel sets, which are 44 beads. This particular one is hematite and goldstone. It's very heavy, feels good in the hand, a very large bead. I have standard sets of these. They will all be some sort of either a semi-precious gemstone, a sodalite or a lapis or rose quartz. Typically, that's what I prefer to work with. If not, it'll be a sacred wood, the ones that are wood. I make them kind of as I go, personal for each person, as with all these products are. So anybody ordering any of these products, there will be a little delay in receiving it because I make each one personal for that person and let the wood or the stones or whatever I'm working with dictate to me how it wants to be for that person. So the first item would be a 44 bead prayer bead set. I'm going to click on some images I have here. How I begun this journey into woodworking and what my wife calls shamanistic studies is through pens. I literally bought a lathe one day and started turning these beautiful pens. I knew that people did it, I always wanted to try it. So this is the classic, what's known as the why can't I think straight? Cross style pen, or a slimline pen, and I use varieties of woods. All my woods are sacred, rare, exotic, and I have a lot of extinct American chestnut, which my particular batch of wood came from a barn that was constructed in 1840 in the Shenandoah Valley. I know exactly where my wood stock for that came from. But these are some examples. Like I said, the shapes all vary. They're all cross mechanism. They use cross or replacement cross inks available at your local Staples or what have you. And the color will vary, the shape will vary, the kit it's constructed with, whether it be chrome or gold or gunmetal, will vary depending on how that particular pen goes. One of the downsides of this endeavor is that it's tough to let this be pick what you want and I'll send it to you, because each item, this is just kind of how it is working now. It's all like a surprise when you get it, but each item I meditate on before I make it, and then I let the wood dictate the shape, or the kit that resonates with the color of the wood I've picked out. So it's all a whole process. Every item, whether it be a pen or otherwise that I produce, all gets cleared of energy, charged with energy. It gets Reiki cleansed, Reiki charged. It also gets blessed shamanically. And it's all clean, good, positive energy ready to go. So there were some pens, my 44B prayer set. I also make what I call trinket bowls. Little shallow bowls. This is actually a little bit of a bigger one than I would normally make for what I would call a trinket bowl. This is a beautiful wood, and this is when I first started turning them. I certainly haven't mastered the bowl yet. Some of my walls aren't evenly thick, but they're a wonderful bowl. Now, I use this one. It's empty right now. I use this one as a secondary incense station. I actually put some play sand in here and stick my incense in it. I also use it right now. What it's being used for currently is vast kind of collection of various crystals that I also sell, that I keep in here. And if I have somebody come in for counseling or Reiki or a class or a lesson or even a reading, a private one-on-one reading in studio, I'll let them kind of go through and get a feel and see what stone resonates with them. So I have a very large pile I kind of dumped out into my other big metal bowl here. But these are nice, and they will wear and they will weather, and it kind of, they start to look very antique. These are good for holding crystals, pocket tokens, medallions, talismans, even jewelry, earrings, rings. Now, like I said, a typical one is slightly smaller than this. This probably looks small in my big hands. But so I'm offering trinket bowls, the prayer beads, one of my handmade, hand-carved pens. And then the other things I do is wood pendulums. Again, out of these sacred, rare, and exotic woods. I create the pendulum and then I hand tie them, whether it be a basket tie up or if I put a mount in it and just do a standard knotting. But I have my kind of thing that I do where it comes up and then at the end talisman is a quartz, a Swarovski crystal, and a charm of some sort, whether it be a peace symbol, the tree of life, an Om, a yin yang, an angel wing. Typically I do angel wings, but angels don't always resonate with everybody, and that's okay. Now in that particular item, you could specify if you wanted to say, I would like a peace sign or a tree of life, or do you have this charm? And I certainly can communicate with you on that. At this time, I will be offering, and I believe Eileen will be too, if anyone's interested. I will be offering 30-minute private reading, whether it be a video reading I record and send to you, or over the phone, or Skype, FaceTime, what have you. I really can't do FaceTime because I've lost my iPad. So we'll say Skype or over the phone or a video through email. 30 minutes for $20. So it's $20 across the board. So again, this is just, I'm trying to raise some money quickly to get back on track. All of my book notes for the channeling, all of the digital decks of my tarot cards, all the software that I use to produce and upload my weekly Oracle card readings, everything was on the iPad. I could migrate stuff and kind of come up with stuff to start using my laptop for it, but it would be an immense amount of work that I just can't take on. So any help anybody wishes to give by purchasing an item or booking a reading, or if they desire to, so they could send a donation. But I don't usually ask for charity, and I'm not going to start now. But any offerings will certainly be welcome. So enough about money. I want to touch base on you guys. I usually don't have these kind of personal sit-downs too often. When I do, they usually run long. Apologize for that. There's a couple of good, exciting things happening right now. As you all know, and those who don't, I've been working with the guides and the Universal Collective Consciousness to channel this text. And I had a concept going in, and they've kind of changed it around a little bit, and it's been really a really interesting journey. We got the introduction down. We have a lot of instruction going on in between the readings, and now we have 2 chapters down. It still has to be edited and things of that nature. I will not be editing their messages whatsoever. That's their portion. But edit it as far as punctuation, as my wife transcribes it. There's things that have to be going over proofread, I guess is a better terminology, and then my sections I'm still in the process of writing as well. So that's going very well. We're on a little break right now because, again, the workload has been so overwhelming. And they allowed that, and that's fine. But we are going to get started back on that probably this week. And we've been doing workshops, gearing up for the spring season. Spring hits and the kind of craft fairs take over. So right now we've started to ramp up the spiritual stuff. And Crystal 101 workshop has taken over as our #1 workshop. Everybody wants us. I built this beautiful 24 bay oak display with 4x4 squares, and each one we have 24 varieties of crystal that we bring with us, of tumbled stones, and then we have some specialty crystals that we bring with us, Herkimer diamonds, which actually we're going up to mine ourselves next month. That should be exciting. I'll try to get some video or pictures of that. Oralite 23, some of the more expensive specialty stones. So that's going over well, and that's been a big success. So we may be doing something with that online. Maybe we were talking about possibly starting some of our 101 classes, making them into 101 videos, short 10, 15, 30-minute videos, touching base on the basics of essential oils or crystals. So that's a project as time allots as we get through the book. That may be happening. Some other exciting stuff for me anyway is we have a very interesting spring this year, and I failed before making this video because, as usual, this was impromptu. They kind of told me, well, throw something over your body, get in there and make a video. This year's equinox is a new moon, so you can't get more of a profound new beginning than a new moon on the first day of spring. It may not be as uncommon as it felt to me, but I definitely want to touch base on that. So something I would suggest to people who maybe don't do this, I actually was doing it on the full moon, and a wonderful young lady had said to me, you're better off doing that on the new moon. Now, lately I've been very much a believer of you can't limit the energy. You can do it any day of the week, and you certainly could. But there is definitely something symbolic in the ceremony of it all. So I've switched it to the new moon. I have this old metal box here that my wife got me at some antique store, I think up in New York or somewhere. She thought it'd be nice in my room here. And I actually had a note in it from, it was Milwaukee or somewhere. Somebody had wrote a really nice note back in 1947, I think it was. And they had picked it up while they were in Turkey, at a market in Turkey after the war. Or maybe it was even during the war. Maybe it wasn't 47. Maybe it was 41. It may have been during the war. Anyway, it's a really cool little box. And what we do is, here in our studio, if people come in and they want to write stuff down to be released, they make little notes. And it's all totally private. No one will ever read anyone's notes. We put them in the box. And now on the new moon, instead of the full moon when I would put my crystals out for a full moon to cleanse them, We take these out and we burn them at the grill or the fire pit or even on a little platter of some sort of offering bowl, and we burn them and let it go up. So this was one of the things that they really kind of were allowing me to talk about, or they saw my excitement and encouraged me to speak about it. So really the message for this spring, and this is where we're going to get back to the in the studio with Daniel's session. The message for this spring is really that it is a new beginning, and every day is a new beginning. But this spring solstice with the new moon is going to begin to unlock kind of the next door of energy, escalating this energy through 2015. As you know, you've heard me and everyone else say, the energy is continually escalating and moving at a faster and faster pace, which is wonderful news because all of us will be able to ascend and evolve at a faster rate. For some of us, it's going to be uneasy. Oftentimes, energy shifts manifest as physical conditions of the body. If our body isn't in the best of shape, if we don't have the best diet, sometimes we can develop tangible side effects. And I'm sure you've heard the term, oh, it's the energy. I've been feeling funny too, it's the energy. There is a legitimate side to that argument. But the message really is that now more than ever, as we approach through this spring season and moving onward in the coming times, now is definitely the time of rebirth. Now, in all the readings they were saying that last year was the year of rebirth. It was time for you to kind of break down the walls and really get to the root, like minimalize your world to the point where you know what it is you are and what it is you want and where it is you want to go. 2015 has been now the year of reconstruction. You're now re-putting those blocks together in a way that better resonates with you, better resonates with your reality. So as we're moving through 2015 and now this next gate is about to unlock for us, that's going to go much smoother and it'll be much more fluid for those who are embracing it. For those who are kind of working upstream, we'll say, who may not, it's not that they don't want to embrace it, but maybe they're not sure how, or there's something that's causing a resistance to them in their reality and their truth. The increasing energy causes a little bit of a bumpier road. So what they're really trying to have me say to you guys, and this is coming out in the book a lot, but is really just believe in yourself. The whole purpose of this book is getting back to understand that you are, in fact, divine, that you are part of, the terminology they used I really liked, it was, you are part of the greater construct of divinity. That God is defined in human terms as one kind of a being separate from everyone is a human terminology. It's a human language that got confused through the centuries. It's more of God as the general makeup of all. You've heard the term, we're all one. Not a truer term has been spoken. Though we all exist as our own fragmented source of the divine, we are all locked together in one giant jigsaw puzzle of divinity that is God. And in these coming times, these are the messages that this book is bringing through, that the guides are bringing through. My part of the book really is introduction, and there may be some clarification work to be done. But the messages are all that of the collective, the collective consciousness, the universal consciousness, the Christ consciousness, whatever terminology you're familiar with it but it's all us, it's all you, it's all me. And as we ease into these, what they're terming universal truths, that sometimes challenge our personal truths, the road becomes smoother. As we let down the programming and begin to absorb the universal truth that doesn't degrade your personal truth. If approached with the right mindset, it actually will give you comfort and confidence in your personal truth as being true. Because the universal truth may be this, but your personal truth and your personal truth and his personal truth and her personal truth, although all differ personally, all resonate truthfully against that universal truth. Because what you believe in and what you have brought into your personal universe as truth is truth. If you believe in Jesus, well, when you go back to the divinity, you will see the construct as Jesus. If you believe in Allah, when you go back, you will see the construct as Allah. And these are some of the truths that are going to be difficult for some people. But in the coming times, these are truths that people are going to start to grow a familiar. I don't know why I can't speak lately. It'll seem to become familiar to them as they start exploring these truths, and they're just basic truths. There's nothing mind-blowing or groundbreaking here, but they're trying to stress to us it's time that you accept this as truth and step into, each and every one of you, your individual mastery, which is your birthright, and it is your true authentic self. So that was actually the direct message I just brought through. May sound like a lot. As it's being transcribed, I reread it. It really is kind of breathtaking. The way they're wording things, and they've actually given a kind of like stories and examples, and it's really impressive stuff, I think. I can't claim any credit for it because these are their words, not mine. But it's really amazing, and I feel really blessed to be a part of this all. And they said there are many, many, many masters, thousands of masters doing this work right now. And the object is to get the same word out there with different language, different vocabulary, with different canter, so it resonates differently. One example they get is you pick up this book and you read it and you're like, that's just not for me. You pick up another book written by somebody else from a different culture or different background, and you read it and you're like, man, this guy gets me. And in the end, they're the same book, the same messages, but the way they get brought across to you, it's what resonates with you. It's like religion. It's what resonates with you. You may go to a religious service of whatever denomination that you are, and 3/4 of the sermon hits home, and then you're like, well, I don't know about that last part. That's okay. What resonates with you as truth is, in fact, your truth. And even though other individuals may say, well, I don't agree, that's okay, because their truth for them is also as true as your truth is for you. Because we're all right, because it's all the same. So with that, I don't want to go too long and drag this out any longer than I already have. I'm not sure what my time's looking like here, but so exciting stuff. We'll keep you updated on our workshops. I realize most of you are not local here. But I'll also keep you updated on if we're going to start any video posts with the 101 series, essential oils, energy healing, crystals, things like that. Videos on the basics of what they are, where to find them, and how to use them. Just basic stuff, small, like half-an-hour classes. But again, I think that's going to be pushed more till the heart of the books, at least, under wraps. But again, thank you for watching, and remember, pens, pendulums, prayer beads, they're really what I'm most set up for right now. I do have some wood. I can make some, it's more local wood than sacred wood, but some of the trinket bowls out of. Yeah. So if there's anything you guys are interested in purchasing to help our fundraising opportunity here, to replace the Advanced Angel Cards iPad, that would be great. You can reach out to me directly at daniel@advancedangelcards.com. On Facebook at facebook.com/advancedangelcards. If anyone does, and I certainly would be grateful for it, but I'm not asking for it, but if anybody does randomly want to make a donation to Advanced Angel Cards for this, you can simply go to paypal.com. You don't directly need an account. You will need a debit card of some sort. And you can click on send money and enter in the email address and tell them how much you want to send and enter your information, and they'll send it for you. My PayPal email is advancedangelcards@gmail.com. Again, that's advancedangelcards@gmail.com. If anyone does make a donation, I'll certainly appreciate it. But more importantly, what I'm here for is to, as an energy exchange, is take, say, a $20 donation and give you either a reading, a bowl, prayer beads, or a pen. You can suggest one of those items you want. Unfortunately, I can't give you specific choices as well. Do you want this color wood, this color this? Because again, the way I'm doing it lately is I focus on each individual's energy, and I kind of make it how they tell me to make it. The wood takes its own shape. The wood that I choose and the kit I choose all kind of match up. The beads I put together, it's all of a process. So you can reach out to me on any of those things. You can private message me on Facebook or on Google Plus here, which you're watching this video on YouTube. You can go up to I think it's a little bell up top, and get into Google Plus or a little plus sign, and you can message me there at I believe that's also advancedangelcards@gmail.com. Or you can call me on I have the Google Voice line, which is 74. How did I forget my own number? It's 747-444-1022. Or call me directly on it. That rings my service phone that I have. You can call me directly on that number, 856-904-5068. Either way, if you want to reach out for one of these items, I would appreciate it. Everything is made by me, by hand. Everything is hand-picked. And then it's cleansed and blessed and sent out to you. So there will be a little delay upon receiving your item, because I make everything as it's asked for, so I can put the best energies into it. And they really come out to be very incredible pieces with a lot of high, good, positive energy. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again for being fans. And thank you again for just being you and being of service to all the fellow beings around you every single day that you exist. Have a good day. Namaste.